Right, we're live. Let's just center the camera. Live at 5, late as usual. Is that good? Yeah, I think that is good. There we go. Right. Okay, welcome to Roberts & Co. Welcome to London. Monday night. Coffee. Cold coffee. Right, tonight we need to take a break from making 18 karat gold wedding bands, which I've been making for the last few days. I still need to make many more, but I'm running low on size I 1mm halo stacking rings. Whenever I'm running low of something, that's what sells the most. So before I run out, we need to make more. It's coming up to the busiest training time of the year for jewellers and all retailers. So yeah, 1mm wire, some 1mm wire. I've got this. I didn't make this 1mm wire. I got this from my bullion dealer. It just can't. I can only make a couple of meters at most of 1mm with my draw bench. So it costs more per gram to buy it as finished wire, but not so much. It would be. Yeah, I don't know whether it would be more cost of. It would probably. Labour's not free. Excuses. Yeah, we bought this. I didn't make it. We have the capability to make it. I definitely make the gold version of this. We make our own wire. This silver, for expedience, we've bought it from the same. Like if we were going to make it from grain, like that's silver grain there, which I'll use to make larger. I'll use that to make sizes of wire like 2x1mm D, which you can't buy, or court wire, which you can't buy. So you can buy this. So it comes from the same bullion dealer. It's still ethically sourced, responsibly sourced. It comes from the same place. It's effectively the same material, but they charge a premium for turning it into wire for us. So we need to make some size I's. I think I'm going to try and make 24. So I need somewhere between 50 and 51mm, so 50.5 millimeters of silver wire. Let me give you a little close up of what we're making. We'll get close to a finished ring, but not quite. That is a finished size I 1mm halo stacking ring. Look at that, that's hard working hands, that's not hands that do dishes. Right. Let's turn on the YouTube copyright free music and get cracking. You might be wondering what I've been doing with those hands, because this clearly isn't hard work. I have been doing some hard work. Right, 50.5. See, I'm going to try and make 24 of these, because I can fit about 12 on here, so I'll do 2 batches. But then what will happen is I'll get to a point where, because they will need rounding off, but I'll probably want to polish off the excess solder using a polishing method, because I don't polish at this bench, which I don't think using polishing compounds at the bench where you work is a good idea, which many jewellers do and will obviously disagree, but the reason I say that is, I mean, it's dirty enough, but all of this is metal filings and flux. If I had been polishing for the amount of time I've been doing this at this bench using the pendant motor, which is here, I do have a pendant motor here, but I only use it with metal burrs in for setting. If I'd have been using that with polishing compounds, this place would be black by now. Just be caked in it. So I've got a separate polishing motor with extraction, and that is black and caked in dirt. The problem with polishing compounds is, if you want to, like, let's just say you want it, if you were making, say, a locket joint and you want to inhibit the flow of solder, you can take jeweller's polish, like rouge, mix it with meths, and paint it on the joint to stop solder flow. Like the grease of polish inhibits solder flow. So doing it at the place where you're working on the metal where you want solder to flow is obviously a bad idea, which is why I don't do it. And you might get away with it for a while. I mean, many people get away with it for an entire career, but porosity in solder joints is a frustrating problem that we all have, and you're only going to make that potentially worse having polishing compound everywhere. Right, dry abrasives of one sort or another, you know, like flexible wheels or Scotch-Brite wheels, fine. Steel wheels, brass wheels, you know, like metal filings that you can brush off, but I think using polishing compounds is, for a number of, just for the sheer mess they make and for the problems they can cause with other operations, not a good idea. But, you know, a lot of people do it, so I mean, obviously there'll be some jewelers that have no choice. They're limited by space and equipment, and but I think the best idea if you're going to do polishing would be to just move the motor to a different area. Right, I think what I'll do is I'll just cut a big batch of these up to start with. I'll cut the 12. I'll do this as a proper batch operation. Yeah, the actual polishing mops themselves, the mini ones that go in the pendant motor and all that, and there's loads of different accessories for pendant motors. They're great, but it's just the location you use them in is could be problematic. Because obviously I use the same polishing mops and compounds that everyone else does, but just not here. And jewellers can't polish anyway. You know where you learn to polish? Watchmaking school. Those geeks have got it down. Yeah. All the jewellery experts, polishing experts, Rolex would sack them. They just dismiss them as idiots. You want to learn to polish? Go to watchmaking school. They don't mess around. A bit like the dentist frown upon us. Use all the same tools. We're butchers. Yeah, I'll share the secrets of that one day. One day. See, there are loads of jewellery shops now with Rolex workshops in. So if you've got access to one of those, you better go and ask the watchmaker about polishing. Put out a big manual, step by step, separate drawers for everything. It's insane. Not just separate drawers, separate compartments. Oh yeah, you just better go and ask the watchmaker how to polish. Go. And they will school you about how you've been doing it wrong the whole time. The way they schooled me. Right, that's 12. I just need to clean up the ends of these, get the burrs off so we get a nice clean fitting joint. Then we can shape them into a ring. I'm using a cut-to file for this. It's actually a half-round ring file, but I'm using the flat edge in it. I don't actually have any flat files apart from this really coarse bench file. This one I turned into a buff stick by sticking emery paper to it. They're a bit wider if you're doing wide pieces. The flat files are wider than these half round ring files, but I've never really needed wider. 12mm. The flats are probably about 15. Yeah, obviously these double up. You've got a flat on one side and then the half round. These are a half round ring, which are narrower than a half round. A proper half round probably wouldn't actually fit inside some of the smallest rings we make, like size A's and B's and C's. Now for these, I don't actually use, we've got the Durston ring former, which would probably do a marvellous job at it, but I can do these with my fingers and thumbs. I've done thousands of them now. It would be excessive to use that. And you can do it so, because they're only 1 mil. And I've got hard working hands, remember? I can very easily bend 1 mil wire. Got quite a lot of solder already cut, which I think I'll be able to use. I'll give you a little close up of those. There we go. What I'll do is, they're round now, but what I'll actually do is line up the joints like that, which I've said many times is some people love that way, some people hate that way. Yeah, it gives a more aesthetically pleasing joint in my opinion. But there are many people that say it stresses the joint, and they're not wrong. But we're making pretty things. You probably only get a failure rate of 2 on average, 2 per 100, 2%. So I quite often make these in batches of 100 or 120 in the popular sizes. So I'm just using a cut 6 barrette file to put a barrette, clean up the joint, make sure it's nice, close fitting. I think what I'll do is get them all lined up and then flux them all at the same time. Then we'll solder them all at the same time. Yeah, I've made thousands of these now. Thousands. Remember the first ones I made, my dad laughed, so it made me ridiculous. They're too thin, too small. But yep, that's what they want. People keep asking us for thinner ones. I think the thinnest we made before these was 1.5 mil as a size. Most of the ones that were no, it was 2 mil wide for when we were just doing D shapes and core and flat. 2 mil was the smallest, and then we started doing halo. There was a 1.5, and then again kept getting asked for thinner. We did. I think I made samples of 1.2 and 1. It's the 1 mil that are on. Well, we've got repeat customers. They destroy them and buy more because they wear them doing things they shouldn't be doing in a 1 mil. A cage fighting or something. I don't know what they're doing. We actually do these in exactly the same ring in all the alloys. So sterling silver, we've got 9 carat yellow, white and red, 18 carat yellow, white and red, 22 carat, and also we've got for May, so sterling silver, 18 carat yellow, gold plated, 18 carat red gold or rose gold plated, and 22 carat gold plated. So depending on the material, they range from sort of £7 or £8 to 150 for that same ring. I think actually the 22 carat one might be over 200. Can't remember. I think the gold plate ones are about 15, and the 9 carat about 60. The 18 carat probably about 150. Exactly the same process, just different material costs. But for all the others, we make the wire in-house. Alright, the flux we're using is Argotech, so a mix of, it's probably boric acid, borax, and mix it with methylated spirits. 15H alcohol if you're in America. I'm actually going to put the solder beneath the ring so that it gets sucked up into the joint by capillary action, and then we'll flip it and use gravity to do its thing. A lot of these pieces of solder are quite big. Well, big's a relative term. Alright, solder. That did not go to plan. That ring opened up before the solder flowed. show you a close up one of those solders, then we'll get cracking on the next batch. Let's dig one out from the bottom. These will need more time in the pickle cleaning. Yeah, this one opened up. Must have been under tension. It came apart. There's a cloth. There we go. They obviously need the excess solder cleaning off, rounding off. And yeah, polishing. And then that'll be done. Batch of 12. Right, I think I might call it a night there because we've been going for over half an hour. So if I try and do another batch, we'll be well into the second hour. Things to do. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll get those. What I might do, I might just solder this thing. Just gonna, I'm gonna solder this together. Be a different size, but at least it'll be one less piece of one less job to do on the bench if I just leave it. Which is what I've literally just finished cleaning up over the last few live streams. All the sort of jobs like that I just left to one side because there was something more important to do. I mean, I've still got a few bits, but yeah, it'll just sit there forever and it can be a finished room. Good. Should be okay this time because the tension will be gone. Now it's effectively annealed. For a good looking ring. Alright, that once it's cleaned up, that will round out nicely. The 1mm wire is so soft it puts very little stress on those joints. Like I was saying earlier, about 2%. Right, let's give you a little close up of the hole, but I'm going to stick these back in the pickle. It's a nice ring hole. Yeah, the original plan was to make 24, but we've done 12. Come back to tomorrow, I'll give you a little look at what these look. They'll be finished. I'll finish these tomorrow during the day, so I'll clean up the excess solder once they finish pickling, round them off and polish them. So check back in tomorrow's live stream. You'll see the finished product. Right, back in the pickle. We'll probably need another 10-20 minutes in there just to get all of the water off the bench. Problem is that water's not just water, it's sort of a very dilute pickle mix. Right guys, thanks for watching. And I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. And I think tomorrow we'll get back on the 18-carat wedding band rings. So see you tomorrow. Toodles.